Hey, wait, before you do that. Oh.
Do we what?
How to what?
Yeah, we've got to pull this stuff, Matt.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I almost brought
Feels
that in.
No, I feel like we're forgetting something. We're not forgetting anything.
I don't know. We're live.
Are we? I hope we didn't
Oh,
forget.
hey, hello, everyone.
Hey.
All right, y'all ready, boys?
Mm-hmm. Hit the button.
Here we go.
Professional.
Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 97. I'm Joey with Steelblade Woodworks, and today I'm joined by my co-host, the kid, Matt, with Wacky Works, Mustachio with the Wooden Mustache, BJ with Byroms Custom Woodworks, and our special guest today is Ryan Suchy with another piece of wood. I got it right. Yes, did it good.
How many times did you practice?
How's everybody
that?
doing? Just a couple of times. He told me, and I made a split decision there at the end just to go ahead and bite the bullet and try to say it without butchering.
There you go.
So I did
There
good.
you
I'm learning. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I can graduate kindergarten at some point. Go to first grade.
There are different colored crayons.
Yeah. How's everybody doing today on this lovely Sunday evening?
Doing great.
Ryan, we're gonna try to keep you awake, but I know it's past your bedtime. But we're gonna try to keep you on top of your toes there. All right, so everybody made it to Sunday, about to start the work week on a good note, right?
You had to bring that up, right?
Yeah, well, it's coming. We can't stop it. It'll be
true.
here. It'll be here before we know it. Jump right back into the fire, hoping for Friday to come along again. But anyhow, BJ, why don't we get this thing rolling?
Let's get on to this beautiful segment that we like to call What's Glue with You. Still not sponsored, Still waiting on someone to step up like a boss, and so we don't have to be a bunch of dogs out here. Not getting sponsored.
Damn,
Pounding on a pavement.
Yeah.
how you did that?
And per usual, since we have a guest on here, we're going to start with the Mr. Ryan. What is going on in your shop this week, and what do you got planned?
Yeah, so this week, if you guys follow me, I make a lot of plaques. So if you see behind me here, I've got my sanding table loaded up with plaques that we're doing some finish sanding on. Aside from that, I've been doing a couple of different collaborations. I just finished up a thing with Star Bond. Did a giveaway, and they sent me some free stuff to try. So I'm gonna start checking out their new 5-minute epoxy to see how that stuff works out for me. I'm also working on a collab with Opt or OPT lasers. They just sent me out a new 45-watt laser to use with my CNC machine. So that's kind of what I've been working on here in the shop for the past week or so.
Nice. What CNC do you have?
I've got the Onefinity Woodworker, the OG.
30, the 32 by 32?
32, yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Cool.
All right.
Yep.
Let's move it on over to the man, the myth, the face of the podcast. And of course, everybody wants to know
what's in the box.
Oh, you got more stuff for your Tormac.
Ooh.
Very nice.
This is for the wood turning tools. Did you play that? Oh, there it is. It came on. I guess I'm all fuzzy and everything.
No, you look good. I mean,
okay.
Pretty good.
Well, thank you. Why, thank you.
Bromance.
I mean,
you look mighty good yourself, bud.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, just funny. Come on. Those
It
rosy red
was.
cheeks
Yeah.
are getting a little redder.
I'm telling you, I like it. I love it.
A little warm.
It's like
a little warm in
those
the office.
those old claymation like cartoons that they had for the what is it, like Rudolph and stuff, and they had the
Yeah.
big rosy red. That's perfect. It's awesome. I love it. Reminds me of childhood.
What's in the shop, or what's glue with me? I've been
I see
messing with the
something
new
there
3D
behind you.
printer. Yeah, I finally took that out of the box and did printed up some Spider-Man masks for my grandsons. I got 2 of them because they're Twinkies, you know.
Mhm.
And did a pretty good job. I mean, I'm really impressed with the quality that printer did. This was a 13-hour print. Of course, the eyes were printed separately, but I wanted to see how it was going to do. So this was the second print I did with the machine. The first print was just the, regular old, what's it called?
Benchy.
The
Benchy.
Benchy. And then I hit it up for almost 14-hour print to see how it would do. No, didn't mess with nothing, straight out of the box, didn't tweak anything. Threw it in there. I wanted to see if it was going to be able to do it, and worked flawless. There's some other stuff I want to do. I printing these eyes, or this net type. I think we figured last night. This is less than a 16th. It's real super thin.
Mhm.
And the quality, I know the people listening out there ain't going to be able to see it, but I'll have a video out on this. It's super good. I mean, absolutely great on, that big old 3D printer. That head on that printer's big, and it's just moving around, and it was able to get that real fine detail done. So it worked very well. So I've been messing with that. Haven't done anything else in the shop. I need to get out there. There's some projects that are going to come up or the next project I want to do is attack my hand plane storage. But I'm going to move some stuff around in there. I want to build a display cabinet for all my hand tools. So that's going to be coming up. But that's kind of been, I guess that's about it. I got another deal coming up this week. 3D printer wise, we're going to be doing another comparison video with that bamboo, and exciting things. Starting to get a little motivated. Just get back into the shop out there. Now that it's 100-degree weather, it's when I want to go out there and work. But
Exactly.
yeah. So what about you, Mustache? What's glue with you?
Oh, let's see. So I've been printing a bunch of those aerosol spray paint can holders. I started mounting those on the wall yesterday, Friday. I don't know, one of those days. And they're kind of the spacing. I guess I should have started from the bottom because I didn't know how those were going to kind of like line up. The way that they're spaced apart, like to hit that screw, is all weird. So but I got 2 or 3 rows on the wall so far. They're 8 cans per row. So I'm trying to figure out how many. I might just do 4 rows for now, and if I need to go back and do more, I'll do that. So I moved part of my trunk line for the dust collector. I had to kind of come over with that, and got some of my sheet goods straightened out on one of the walls in there, and still trying to organize. So never ending. I just want to be able to use stuff in the shop again. I'm just sick of having the same update every single week.
You can always lie, bud.
Nobody's gonna know.
I made a desk this past week.
Built 4 houses. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know.
But yeah, that's about it for me. What about you, Matt?
So I didn't get much done during the week. Was at the jobby job. had some stuff going on there quite a bit. And then, but this weekend I got 9 sets of pen blanks out and knife scales. Posted some of that on Instagram. So I'm just building up my stock for the store so I can get those out. But they turned out really well. Actually better than I thought they were. I can see the grain. It looks pretty cool. So we did a lot of pen blanks at 5 colors, and then did all the knife scales at 10 colors. So basically we did 2 sets of pen blanks, and then every time we did one, we did a set of knife scales that were a set of 10. So that was pretty cool. They turned out a lot. I mean, I can't see all the colors like y'all can, but I can see that there's a lot of grain in it and stuff. So it looks pretty cool. Wife says it looked great. So hopefully
those kind of, the knife scales kind of looked like a peacock.
Oh, did it?
With the coloring and stuff.
Cool.
It was cool.
Yeah. So that's basically what we got done. And then I had my wife start turning some bowl blanks. So she started getting some of those done. It's been a while since she turned some bowls, so that was pretty fun getting back into that. She got some walnut done and just started carving it out just to be able to dry back. So we got about, I don't know, 150 of them to do. So that ought to be fun to try to hurry and get those down. Well, piles and piles of wood shavings out there. So
Nice.
But yeah, that's what we got going on. How about you, BJ? You getting anything done?
Just kind of tinkered out there today. Melted some more HDPE into a mold. We got a little something right here for you, Matt. I'm gonna get sent out in a box with the hat. So,
ooh,
just let me know when you open it. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. You gotta crush it to get it. You know, there's a little surprise on the inside for you.
All right.
Yeah.
You gotta get your hat, bud.
Yeah. Get that sent out. Yeah.
Oh,
real funny. Yeah.
Love you, man.
With friends like y'all, who needs enemies, right?
We'll see once you crack that egg.
Yeah. But got the delivery confirmation for the dust collection. It will be here Tuesday afternoon.
Nice.
The downside is it's supposed to rain all day Tuesday, and they're going to drop it off while I'm at work, so it's going to sit outside in the box and probably get dumped on all freaking afternoon. So that'll be fun. I
think Joey's got an expert on that. He might tell you if it's protected or not.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. So,
might need to be a sick day.
Yeah, or at least
you feel that. I feel like your voice sounds a little rusty.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe you're catching something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I did make a so cool news. My daughter had her they finished up volleyball this weekend. We had our championship game Saturday afternoon, and they won. So they won the championship. Cool. And she got a nice big fat gold ring, and per tradition, I made her another acrylic box to put this ring in with her jersey number and the school logo and all that. And yeah, that was fun. So
nice.
Unfortunately I had to work. I was kind of bummed about that. But I was getting live updates from the wife on all that. And yeah, they won, and she went, I think, two serving sets, 5 for 5. So she scored 10 points.
Wow.
You know, both times she served. So she's kicking butt, and yeah, it was fun. And
nice.
That is my week. Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. Jobby job took over a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
well, it usually does. Can't get away from it. So it lets us
unfortunately.
have some fun. So it lets us have fun out here.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Well, Mustachio, you had something you wanted to talk about. So let's jump on into that.
I do. I do. I would like to give a big old shout out to our patrons out there helping us keep the lights on and supporting us. In no specific order, I would like to mention Scott from Willow Creek Lumber, Don from What's Next Woodworking, Matthew Serio from Artigiano Serio, and Victor from Whim Design. We thank you guys for your support. And if you would like to join the ranks and help us out, you can go to our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages and follow the Patreon link and choose your monetary value. Yeah, that sounded weird, but thank you. Thank you to everyone that's helping us support the podcast. We appreciate you.
Mhm.
And just a little bit of announcement on that. We're 3 shows away from the 100, and we hope to see all y'all there. Remember, you got to be live to participate in the giveaway. It's going to be a great time. Got some awesome prizes, some awesome companies that are helping out, support the show, and help us give a little something to our listeners. So y'all come out, hang out with us. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. And yeah, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. The star of the show, the reason we're here today. And that's Mr. Ryan. Why don't you give us a little background, Ryan? What do you do? How did you get started for all the listeners out there?
Sure. So, I've always been a maker. Always loved to do things and create. I had kids at an early age, and that kind of put my hobbies in the back seat for a while. Both the kids are now, grown out of the house, and kind of over COVID, I really sparked another interest in wanting to do stuff with my hands. So my daily job, I work for the Coast Guard as a civilian. I'm a contracting officer for the Coast Guard, so I buy goods and services. Not a really exciting position, which leads more to why I kind of want to fulfill myself by doing some of the wood creative stuff that I do. But yeah, over COVID, I kind of went stir crazy sitting in the house, and started upgrading some of the tools that I did have back then. Really got into the CNC stuff over COVID. And I guess about 3 years ago, we decided to move me out of the garage shop that I started in, and we put up about 1,000 square foot metal shop in our backyard. I probably was in the shop about 3 months when I got this deal with some guys making all of these plaques, right? And it just literally took over my shop. My walls aren't done. I wanted to do something different with the ceiling to kind of retain some of the light. But yeah, so I got into the shop. It's probably like 2.5, 3 years ago. My plaque business, to tell you a little bit about it. Don't sleep on Facebook, people. I'm in a bunch of woodworking groups, as I'm sure we all are. I had a guy a few years back that said, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody that can make me some plaques," and I was like, "Hey, I could make some plaques, right?" Well, I found out a little bit more about this guy and his company. It's ran by a couple of guys. They have a large Amazon store where they make personalized products. One of the products they make is a just normal 8.5 by 11 inch plaque. simple edge treatment on it. These guys told me that I could make them as few or as many as I wanted. The past 2 years, we've been hitting about 1,000 plaques a month with these guys.
Whoa.
Dang.
No wonder
And,
it's past your bedtime.
Yes,
Jeez.
sir. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a year, and you came and hit me with a month.
Right,
Wow.
right. So last year, I think we finished at it was like just shy of 12,000 for the year. I think it was like 11,800 and some we ended up doing. So I've learned a lot about business by doing this. I've had to pair up with an industrial lumber supplier. I get freight here at the house about every other week, every other week, every 2 weeks. I'm buying probably around 800 to 1,000 board feet every time I get an order. So it's a lot of material that moves through our shop. And then, just over the past couple of years, I've slowly upgraded to all, in industrial level tooling. So that's kind of me, what I've been doing over the past couple of years, and a little bit about my background. So
Nice. So Ryan, when you had the before you built the shop, did you have the tractor already? Or
did
was
not.
that a afterthought?
That was so. I actually bought the tractor about a year and a half ago. When I started getting freight delivery, I had a neighbor down here that was letting me borrow his tractor, and I think I ended up starting to use it a little bit more than he was able to. So I decided that it was time for me to buy my own. Just for everybody that doesn't know, I picked up a tractor, solely for offloading wood and getting it into my shop. The supplier that I use is Hood Distribution. They don't have a onboard forklift that they can take stuff off like Lowe's or somebody would. So I'm responsible for getting my material off the truck and back into my shop.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
So it must be great being able to learn underneath the wing of Mike from Broken Lead Woodworks. He's claiming he taught you everything.
Can you yeah. Yeah.
But what I really want to know though is how about this sausage and gravy biscuits that you love?
From the milk run.
Not a fan. Not a fan. When we showed up there, I think I had to explain to our waitress like 3 or 4 times. Mike probably got involved trying to tell this lady what I wanted. Poor lady, and poor me for not getting out of North Carolina, but once a year. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But you're a Grizzly fan, right? You like your Grizzly tools.
Nice.
I see that you have some. I've got my fair share of them. I love Grizzly. Been working with them for years. How do you like them? Give me your honest opinion. What do you think about their tools with the equipment that you have in your shop?
So I like the tools. I think I've only had a complaint with one. I've got a drum sander. I burned up, if you can imagine this, I burned up the feed motor and the drum sander probably within the first 6 months of buying it. Grizzly sent me out a new one. It's worked fine ever since. I'm sure that there are some better tools out there. The one thing that that I wanted to do a little bit differently with my tools. I did just get a new table saw this year. I had been eyeing a saw stop, basically just because with as much repetitive stuff as I do, I mean, that's where your mistakes happen. So, I had really been looking at dumping some money into a saw stop. And this year I came across just a killer Facebook deal on. I just got a 5 horse, brand new 5 horse cabinet saw. Way more than I need for the maple that I'm typically cutting, but I think it should probably last me a long time. So
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think like every other company, I agree with you. There probably is better machinery, especially when you start getting into the commercial grade, but they make it so affordable, for somebody that doesn't, you start looking at some of that stuff and it gets very expensive. You start getting up into $10,000-$20,000 for some of that stuff, and that's kind of hard to put out, maybe not for you as much as you're doing, but like for hobbyists like us.
Yeah.
I mean, you're burning through all that wood. I mean, Jesus, I had no idea. I've seen your stories and I've seen your posts, and I'm like, man, this guy, he brings in a lot of lumber, not knowing that you were bringing in that every other week.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that is impressive. Very impressive.
Wow.
Interesting.
So we did have a question from Mike. He said, let me show this. He said, "What's your average time frame for an order of plaques to turn around? Like, are you doing that week? Are you doing like a batch weekly or?"
No. So what I do, I typically make the plaques in batches of 500, because that's about as much as I can fit on a pallet. And so I'll do a batch of 500, and then I'll get those palletized, and I've got an enclosed trailer that I just store them in, and then I'll start another one. Typically, I'll deliver these plaques to a place in Virginia Beach. It's about an hour and a half away from us, but I usually wait until I have 1,000 in my trailer to deliver. There's been a couple of times when we've got up to 1,500 in a single delivery, but we still batch them out by around 500.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And does
That's
that
a-
take
that's a
you
s-
what, about a week and 2 weeks to do 500, or what how long does it take you to go from processing the lumber to palletizing?
Yeah, just regular or normal weekend, right?
Really?
Damn.
Normal weekend.
No. Usually, time wise, it's about 18 to 20 hours worth of work for
Okay.
each batch of 500. That's about what we get in it. So every month we're probably spending a solid 40 hours
So,
out in the
So-
shop.
so 2
So when
days,
you're
2 days, 3 days.
I'm sorry.
That's solid weekend.
36 hours with midgets and mules working around the clock.
You're right.
So I'm
Jesus,
guessing
like-
you're not just gluing these things up with pipe clamps and like F style or K body clamps. You've probably got a clamp rack on the wall.
I
Where you do
actually,
multiple glue ups.
yeah, actually, a couple of years ago, I bought a 12-foot JLT clamp
Okay.
carrier. And so it's a 5 row, but we only use 3 rows. It's pretty hard to get in and manipulate stuff when you're using all 5 rows. And I can glue up 2 panels per row. So every time I do a glue up, we turn out 6 panels. And typically
Okay.
what we do when I break down lumber, I just 8.5 inches. So I go up about 4 and I guess a little shy of 4 3/8 is what I cut everything down to, and by the time I get it dressed for glue up, it ends up giving me the full 8.5 inch width that I need for the clamps.
Okay.
And so I just end up with stacks and stacks and stacks of boards that we've got for glue up all the time.
Like what's behind you?
Yes.
So are those ready? Are those boards behind you ready, or are they like midway through?
No, so these are just the plaques themselves. So all these that are behind me, we just have to sand the edges. We've already done the tops and bottoms. So
Oh, okay.
So do you do this? I mean, is this solely a weekend ordeal, or do y'all do this in the evenings once y'all are off work? And how do y'all attack this?
yeah, so it has to be nights and weekends. There's no way we could do it if we didn't touch it during the week. This year I'm a federal employee, and this year we all got called back into the office, which has really been a strain for us to get this stuff out consistently.
Yeah, that's got to be rough. We used to pull that kind of stuff that it's just so hard to get time to go do other things. I mean, it seems like you're just concentrated there. You can't leave. You take a day and you're put you so far behind.
Yeah.
It's like you can never crawl out of that.
Yep.
That's
yep.
wild. Wow. So I mean, the more automated you can get doing this, the better. It takes a little bit off of y'all's back. Kind of bring in what's the CNC doing for you for these plaques? Does it do any process? Nothing. Everything.
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of people approach me about CNC stuff with this, but honestly, when you buy bulk lumber like I do, you don't get a 4x8 sheet of hardwood maple, right? So in order to really do this on the CNC, you'd really have to do just a ton of glue up. And honestly, I don't know that the juice would be worth the squeeze for me. What I have going, I really don't know that my CNC anyways could keep up with the pace that we're currently making.
I think you would end up with a lot of waste, a lot more waste than you normally do. Trying to get everything, you would have to be gluing up bigger panels to justify putting it on the CNC. I mean, yeah, you're probably doing it the most efficient way you can. CNC wouldn't really help you. I mean, but even then, to put that mitered edge that you have on them, I guess that's all router table or maybe you're using a trim router to do that. I don't know. It looked like you had some sort of
it's a round edge. It's got with a groove in it, right? You got a groove on the top.
The top of the plaque.
Yeah, it looks like you have some sort. Is it just regular sides, or do you have like a routed?
So this, I don't know how good you can see, but it's like an OG profile on them. So, but yeah, I have a router table that I use primarily. I bought a small shaper last year with the intent of putting it to work, but honestly, like with this, I have to have a custom shaper bit or cutter made for this profile. Literally, nobody makes this one profile. So maybe in the future I'll do that, and that could speed up the process a little bit for me as well.
Nice.
So what else do you like to do besides plaques?
The man doesn't have time. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know, but he's got
it. So I really enjoy doing like the kind of more creative stuff with the CNC, making some artwork and different signs and things like that. I've started messing around this year a little bit with some of the 3D carving stuff. I know I'm way behind the curve on that, but just honestly, since the time I got it or got into it now, I just really have not had the time to devote to it. And a lot of the 3D modeling software just honestly scares me.
Well, I mean, it's
It's-
not that bad. You're doing what you're doing. You can do it. It's not not bad. Go ahead. Who was
yeah, it's a big pill. It's a big pill at first, but once you kind of get over the hump, it's it kind of clicks in. I mean,
Yeah.
Matt and I are still limping along with not fusion. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
So I got to know,
But I
how
mean-
big are the bonfires?
Oh.
So I have a neighbor that has a big lot behind his house, and I think it gets pretty big before he sets it off. But he probably does it 3 or 4 times a year. But definitely probably about the size of a pickup truck by the time he gets to them. So
Ooh.
Good stuff right there.
That is crazy. I
Yeah.
seen one time you brought the tractor in and you were loading the offcuts, and I was like, just looking under that bench, there's a pile of them. I was like, Jesus, what's this guy doing? Good God. And that was probably just a week's worth of work, wasn't it? Week and a half
Well,
worth of work.
I usually take the scraps out probably about every month and a half or so. It really pisses people off too.
Oh, that you're burning them?
That all that wood gets wasted, and I tell people all the time, if you want it, you let me know and you guys can come get it, because I hate to see it go to waste too.
So you're running a lot of maple. Is any other? Did people request anything else besides maples, or is it always just maple?
It's always maple. I hate maple.
Hate maple.
Can you make me a maple? No.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
It was.
Yes.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to sell those offcuts, like just prepackaged, just get what you get, like a mystery box. I know. Like, let's just say one of the big box stores, they'll package up offcuts from hardwood that they cut, and they'll sell you whatever size cardboard box. You just pack it in there and sell it instead of burning it. Why don't you just throw that on your plate and do that too? Why not?
Yes. So
Joey will send you boxes.
Yeah. So I do have a couple of guys that come by regularly and pick up like the long offcuts that I have left over. And usually that's anything under 2.5 inches I can't use in my plaque process. So I'll have guys come in and buy some of that, and then some of the smaller plaque blanks that maybe have a defect or something. I've given those away, and I like the idea of trying to profit from everything that I can. But man, it just multiplies so quickly in this shop, and I don't have anywhere out
To store it.
other than outside to really keep it. So
Your real estate's all taken up.
yep.
Yeah.
And you probably throw that on your wife's plate too, and she's probably gonna be, "Are you out of your mind? With everything else that we got to do?"
Yeah.
Oh man, that's wild. I had no idea that you were processing that much lumber. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fathom 1,000 boards a month. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Impressive. That says a lot about both of y'all. That takes some commitment. I tell you what, that takes some real commitment. So let's any thoughts of maybe upgrading that CNC to a bigger one? I know we kind of touched on that a little bit. Are you thinking about maybe moving over to the new platform that Onefinity launched, or are you happy with your CNC that you have?
I'm interested in moving to a larger CNC at some point. If I do, and I'm going to invest that kind of money, I think that I want to move probably to a fully industrial CNC. Like a 5x10 or so. But right now with the small business that I'm doing, I don't see me pulling anything like that into my current shop. I would have to have a much larger space.
So talk about your space. You got how many square feet did you say you had?
It's just under 1,000 square feet. My shop's 24 by 40.
24. Okay.
Mhm.
And what all? I mean, so you got the new saw stop 5 horsepower because you didn't want to go small. What else you got in there? You got the workman from Winfinity. What else?
Yeah, so the Winfinity, I think most everything else is Grizzly. I know I've got a 8-inch Grizzly joiner. Just last year, I bought a 3-horse Grizzly planer. I've got another 3-horse Grizzly shaper. Shop Fox drill press. I have the famous orange rigid combo belt sander.
Yeah. I think everybody has that sander.
Yeah. Rikon 14-inch bandsaw. The Grizzly, I think it's a 16-inch drum sander. The Grizzly table saw. My dust collector is from Phantom CNC. It's their newer one. I think it's like a 4-horse with an agitator. That's worked great. That was a huge upgrade from the Frankenstein Harbor Freight collector that I'd been using. Let's see, the clamp carrier, and then I have a router table, and I think I've got a couple of smaller things. I've got a benchtop mortiser. That's a Grizzly one. So I think that's, yeah.
That shaper that you got, is that because you got that profile that's on everything since you have such a large cut on it, or is that you still running that off your router?
Right now, I'm just running everything off the router table. I want to move to a shaper, which would allow me to do the edge profiling a lot quicker.
Yeah, because you do take off more.
Yeah, and
is it intimidating?
Like
is it intimidating?
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, with the amount of time I stand in front of that spinning thing as it is, I don't, that's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, it's everybody. I've never ran one, but everybody that has that I've talked to, it's like, it's intimidating. You got that big old profile bit turning in there, and you're putting your hands in there, and I guess that's why a lot of bigger shops or whatever you see a lot with an auto feed on it,
feeder,
so that you don't have to get in there. But those things are pretty pricey themselves. But since you're doing so much, I mean, that may be something that eventually you incorporate. But I was just curious because you hear a lot of people that say they get intimidated with that machine. It's scary, just kind of curious if that's you or it's just another process that you got to go through.
No, I don't think that's me. The thing that scares me is the joiner. I mean, that just scares me to death. Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
And I don't really have a problem with the joiner. Does not bother me. The really the thing that bothers me the most, and I guess because I've had kickback is just the table saw, but it's only when I'm getting into small pieces. That's when I really think about what I'm doing, how I'm going to push it through. Cause I just, nothing else really bothers me. Heck, the thing that I thought wouldn't bite me was the one that bit me, and that was the bandsaw. I dang near cut the tip of my finger off with the bandsaw.
Oh wow.
And that was just kind of one of those deals like you were back in the day. We were batching out a lot of stuff when we had our own store, and just one of those things, like you say, that you get so zoned in and you're just trying to get things done, and just a split second not thinking, boom. And it was just like, whew, that was it. That's all it took. And it was a dang bandsaw. Wasn't even the table saw. Now I had the table saw shoot a board out of the shop before a couple of times, but that's my fault. That's, cutting that big box store lumber thinking I could rip it, and, it gets pinched.
Yep.
And next thing you know, boom, there it goes. Luckily I was standing to the side of it, and it went right out of my hands and out into the yard,
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something that I would, as much as y'all do is just shop safety, y'all have to be on focus doing that much. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, and to Ryan's point also, like that repetitive thing, you just get in the groove and you're just like, one more, and then you just kind of maybe get a text, or you look up for a second while you're cutting, and that's when mistakes happen. Because you're just so many. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Wow.
So, any plans to expand, bigger shop? I mean, it seems like you could probably use that.
Yeah, so I go back and forth about it. We live in a neighborhood, and while we don't have an HOA or anything that would prohibit me from expanding, when I realistically think about it, some days I think, should I put up a commercial space building and go that route with it? Or, my wife likes to talk a lot about wanting to build a house, a custom home down the road. And if we do that, we consider, just having more property and more room for everything. If I did expand here, the only thing I can do is make it longer. I don't have the room to make it any deeper, but, it is something that I think about a lot. And primarily for storage. I mean, I could double the size of my shop and just use it for in-feed and out-feed, and then everything in here could just remain the same.
Yeah, that would probably be very helpful place to put the lumber.
Yeah.
Just a little breathing room, because wow. Yeah, I mean, but with those kind of aspirations to eventually build you a custom home, get you bigger property, it's probably best not to invest anymore. And currently where you're at, just keep it up to par, and then build you your big shop. I mean, you have the work. I mean, obviously it's just, but doing that, you buy more things, and then that happens. It's you say, oh, this is big enough. It's never big enough, because slowly but surely you start, well, I could use one more of these, and and I can use one more of these, and before you know it, you're all loaded again and don't have anywhere to move, and it's like, where did all this stuff come from?
Yep.
So you're talking about building a house in your spare time?
No, I won't be building it.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure we're on the same page here, because
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I took it.
I haven't heard the spare time yet. I'm waiting for that part. Well, speaking of, if you had the space and the time and the energy and everything else, a bunch of ifs in this question here, what is it that you would want to have in the shop?
So, like if I had to do it over again, number one, I would think about I think I'd look a lot further into the future than I did with this one. Number one, I would like a bigger garage door. I put I don't know if I think it's a 10-foot door. And that just, it limits the lumber that you can fit through it. Most of the time when you're buying lumber from a distributor, they've got it up to 12 and 16-foot lengths. Early on, I did a lot of 12-foot stuff or 10-foot stuff, and it's really hard to manipulate that through a 10-foot door on the front of a tractor, right?
Oh yeah.
So number one, I would want a bigger door. And two, when I started this shop, I plumbed in, a drain and water supply so I could put in a bathroom or at least a sink. And I now don't have room to do that. So like those are some of the creature comfort things I think I would like to have. I did
nice.
put a mini split in, so I mean I'm good to go with the HVAC in this one. But if I were doing a bigger shop, I'd probably look into putting in like a heat pump and trying to maximize the efficiency of everything. So
Yeah.
Well, heck, even if you had a wood burning stove right there, you could take all your scraps that you got and heat your shop with that.
Yep.
I've learned over the years, this is my second shop, right? And of course, some of it's procrastination and some of it is I just want to start having fun, doing things right. And if you don't get those things done before you start putting equipment in there and start working, it's never going to get done.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
I don't care, because by the time you know it, you're like, well, I just need something here to hang tools or hang whatever.
Yep.
And now it's like, you're not going to take that back off the wall.
Nope.
It's over with. It's done.
That was what I listened to when I first built my shop. The very first thing I listened to everybody is, I just didn't get to it. I didn't get to it. So I plumbed mine for a bathroom, and I electric a whole new circuit into mine. So I made sure I had enough for my AC. And the very first thing that went in was the AC. And while it was blowing cold air, the doors weren't even all the way on yet. And I built the walls and installed the toilet and everything like that for drainage, and made sure I had all that in place, because I knew if I didn't, I wasn't going to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned electrical. That's definitely something else that I would want to increase. When I put this shop up, I only put 100 amp service out here, and I have to be very strategic about how I use my tools. I haven't run out of amperage yet, but all of the larger tools are either 3 or 5 horsepower, and on a 100 amp circuit, when you add in the HVAC, it eats up a big chunk of it. I actually had the power company come out last year to look at adding a separate meter to the shop instead of like right now have it just as a sub panel to the main breaker box in the house. So yeah, that definitely would be something I'd want to increase pretty significantly.
So
go ahead.
I did the same thing, and I went through it with them, and they said that to do that, to put a separate line to my shop, they said we'll have to add a meter, that we're going to charge you $35 a month for that meter for the entirety of the shop. I said, okay, well, what if I increase my house to a 400 amp service? Oh, well, we do that for free. Let me think about that money.
Yeah.
So I did that for free, and I spent the $700 it was for at the time for the lines to run the line set all the way to the shop, and and I split my 200 amp service, one to the house, and that's all I did, is just increased it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to pay for the meter. I didn't have to pay $1,700 for them to run a line set to the pole. And so and I only paid $700 for my line set, and I had to increase my mast size, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, like when Power Company came out last year, the first question was 3-phase. I was like, can I get 3-phase power? And they told me there's like a grain process in place about a mile away from us that they said all of our 3-phase stops right there. And they told me it was like another 20 grand or something to run 3-phase out here. But they did say there's the transformer box that's right between my neighbor and I. And it's probably only about 100 feet from the shop. So that's definitely a plus. You know, if I do decide to increase, I do have that fairly close. The other thing, I know you mentioned the additional fee. I think I'm okay with that because realistically, what I wanted to do was to get the shop power off of the house power, and let my business pay for it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's when you start sharing with the house. Now you really got it. Like you say, you got to be really strategic on what you turn on, because, you know, you start doing the wattage, adding all the pull that's coming off your house. So you're going to have refrigerators that are running constantly, your HVAC in the house, however y'all do that, wife washing and drying. Washer's not going to use too much, but the drying is going to burn some power. So you got to take all that into consideration. And if you're running a water well, if you're not on city water, that's another huge amperage increase. So trying to run, a planer, putting it under constant load, what that Grizzly planer, maybe startup is probably 25, 30 amps, and then you're starting to put wood through there and strain it. I mean, you can start popping breakers quick, so you gotta, the smartest thing is get your sole feed to that shop and you're not messing with your home, but yeah, those are things that like you're saying. Now, if I ever have the opportunity to do another shop, I'm definitely going to think there's going to be a lot of stuff done differently. I'm definitely going to put my HVAC in, and have that working like Matt did, and have my walls put up. So once I go in there and I start making things permanent, it's done. Power. When I built this one, I had the power already figured out. I brought enough power into the shop. I'm only one person. I'm not manufacturing like you are. So I'm only going to run one piece of equipment. Well, really two. You turn the dust collector on and whatever piece of equipment you're going to run, right? That's about the extreme I'm going to get. But yeah, you learn so many things doing it. And every time just incorporate other things, get things done. So like you're saying, you wanted to do stuff to the ceiling and you just never had that opportunity. And by the time you want to, it's like, ain't going to happen. It's just not.
Yep.
It's just not going to happen. I believe Mike said he had a wood burning stove that he's going to bring to you.
Nice.
Yes.
Free.
Yes.
Well, so
I'm calling him out
though.
so he can't go back on that. Now he's got to bring it to you.
Here's
You
the thing.
can clip that. You can clip this, Ryan.
We'll make a reel out of it so that it's there permanent, and he can never say, because we talk to you down the road, we're gonna, or we'll at least see a reel or something of him delivering it to you and you setting it in place and then burning some of that scrap in there.
I like it.
We're gonna hold him to it. We're gonna hold him to it.
So here's the only thing though. Do you have business insurance on that shop?
I do.
Yeah, you're not doing a wood burning stove. You will lose your insurance in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Is it the same where you're at?
I think that's probably everywhere.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can't do a wood burning stove inside of a business
and
like that.
and actually, when we added the business to our home insurance, our agent, he had a hard time finding somebody that would cover a commercial wood shop.
Oh.
So And it may be
Is
because
it
like
just
we're
'cause a fire hazard, probably, or
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Really?
Because you're not so far away from the house, correct?
right.
Yeah. Got to be disconnected
Five.
from the house.
500 pounds, Mike said that weighs. Holy moly.
He said he's going to leave it in the driveway.
Hey, there's just another opportunity for me to drive that tractor. So
You took the words right out of my mouth.
See, you talked about moving from shop to shop, and what I'm just thought process. You can take the wood burning stove and you can run it through your a boiler and run the boiler lines through your floor and heat your floor, and therefore the wood burning stove is not in the shop; it's a separate component, and therefore you can heat your stuff still off your scrap. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so just move everything out of the shop, dig
Just
up your
everything.
foundation,
Repour your slab.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Be
talking about when he
super simple.
moves. Let's talk about when he moves. Come on there, bud.
Well, at least you got a HVAC guy in your pocket, though,
There you go.
Ryan.
Yes.
You got Mike there. He's going to help you out one way or another.
He's got a sign that says "We'll work for pizza."
There you go. Hell, I work for pizza. Where do you live again?
I will also work for pizza.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Mike's helped me out a few times with the HVAC stuff. So
He knows a lot. I tell you what, when that boy gets
Yes,
talking
sir.
about that, he knows his stuff. I mean, it's always funny how you meet people, and it's just the different things that they actually do, not doing this, we're we have our other jobs that we do, and it's always good to have those people. Hey, what's going on here? How do you, what can I check? Because usually those things are going to mess up on the weekend when nobody's working, right?
for sure.
That's what's going to happen. And it's,
We just got to get Mike to expand his work area, his service area. Do West Side Georgia too.
hey, you pay for a plane ticket. I've heard him say before, you pay for the plane ticket, the room and board and the meal, and maybe some adult beverages. He might just come and help you out.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
He said he got paid in maple. Interesting. That's funny. That's
I was hoping it wasn't from Jason's comics. I know where the maple was. It'd be syrup.
I'd get paid in maple syrup. That goes for a pretty penny.
Oh my goodness. But man, that's cool. You so anything what I don't know, did we cover, and I may be asking the question again, any dream of a tool that you might want to get, and something that you've been wanting, just other than the table saw? You said you've been wanting a table saw.
If I had to say anything right now, it would be like one of those robot sander things you see at like IWF or something, that have the arm that does all the sanding. I think that would be sweet to not have to sand these plaques.
I think kids are cheaper.
Probably so.
Kids, buy them sanders. Here you go, buddy.
Yep.
Have fun.
You want to eat, don't you?
You still got swirls on this piece. Come on, back here.
Water pop it. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anybody else got anything that y'all want to ask? If not, we'll let this man go to sleep.
I'm telling you.
Probably pretty tired.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Oh yeah, thanks for
that
having
was
me, guys.
Keep Mike. Mike, now remember, you're gonna have to take him that wood burning stove there, bud.
We expect to see something on that. Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But Ryan, thank you for taking the
bud.
time. I know it's late for you, and you're wanting to go to sleep, so we're gonna let you out of here early.
No problem.
Y'all go follow this guy. It's just cool to watch him. Now that y'all know the story behind the man, and check out. I mean, this guy's just processing lumber like crazy. It's cool. I got all his links below. Go check him out. Go check his website out. And yeah, thank you. Any other closing thoughts anybody else want to put in before I wrap it up? No. Okay. All right. So everybody, please remember to go, head on over to patreon.com/Creative Makers Podcast. We'd appreciate your help in supporting the show. Remember, we're 3 shows away from the 100th episode, and you've got to be present to get involved in the giveaway. Thank you to all the new people. It looked like we got somebody coming in that's new, Pine and Oak Woodworks. Thank you for joining us, and all the other ones that I might have missed, I'm sorry. But remember to also head on over to iTunes and Spotify and give us a review. I want 10 stars. 10
of them. 10.
Take 10. We'd appreciate a thumbs up on this show. Go follow Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, again for taking the time and being with us. And until next week we're going to have another wonderful person on the show. It's going to be Tyler from 3D Forge Store, or Forge 3D Store. Let me get that correct. He just launched a new product. It's absolutely amazing. Can't wait to talk with him. Same time, same place, same beautiful faces. And if anything else needs to be said, nothing else, we're good. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good evening. Until next week. We'll see y'all in the after show. Bye-bye.